Welcome back to About That, eh? Today we're diving into the wild world of couples and their money, a topic more complicated than assembling IKEA furniture after a few drinks.
How many have you had?
Together.
I'm Doug Hoyes, and I'd like to start with congratulations. You've found someone willing to put up with your questionable taste in music and strange sleeping habits. Well done.
That sleep apnea mask is something else, huh?
That's great, but now comes the real test of compatibility, combining finances. It's like making an omelet. Although it has just a few simple ingredients, it's the execution that makes the difference between a delicious outcome and a soggy mess.
It's good.
According to a recent survey, 40% of Canadian couples cite finances as being a primary source of relationship stress, and 33% felt as if they're going it alone and aren't on the same page as their partner. That's higher than disagreements about in-laws, household chores, or who's the right team to cheer for. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee. I help people with overwhelming debt. Many of my clients have gone through a relationship breakdown, and in many cases, money is a big cause of relationship problems. How can you avoid those problems? You need to first understand which personality type you are and which type is your partner. There are 4 basic money personality types. First is the saver, someone who treats money like the last Timmy's donut, and they're not going to give it up for anything.
What did I tell you would happen if you ate the last donut with red, white, and blue sprinkles?
A little foggy on it, but I think it was something like raining down hellfire.
The opposite is the spender, someone who feels as if money is going to burn a hole in their pocket, so they have to spend it and fast. Then there is the avoider, someone who'd rather watch the paint dry than look at their bank statement. And finally, there is the planner, someone who tracks and plans every expense and potential contingency through a spreadsheet or some sort of fancy app. They might even know the date and time of their retirement.
Of course I do. Of course you do.
In the more than 30 years that I've been a licensed insolvency trustee, I've met thousands of couples, and in virtually every case, the two partners are different. You know the old saying, opposites attract, and when it comes to money, that's often true. It's very common for a planner to marry an avoider, or a spender to partner up with a saver. Does that mean the relationship is doomed? Not at all. The trick is to recognize your tendencies and those of your partner, and then talk about it. And when I say talk, I don't mean judge. There's no point in saving if you'll never spend it, so you have to find some common ground and work together. The starting point is to figure out the big picture. What do you want to accomplish with your money? One of you might want to prioritize going on 3 vacations a year, and the other partner might want to prioritize saving for retirement. Spending now and saving for the distant future are 2 opposite objectives, so you have to find common ground. How do you do that? Well, I'm an accountant, so I think you should start with the numbers. Write it down or make a spreadsheet. How much money do you earn each month? And what do you need to spend on rent, food, transportation, and other regular monthly expenses? How much can you save each month to put towards your future goals? Let's not worry yet about whether your future goal is a vacation or retirement. Let's sort out the money first. Okay, so let's say you both agree that you've got a few bucks each month that you can save for the future. Now you have to both agree how much of that money goes into the vacation fund and how much goes into your RRSPs. Now, of course, you don't have enough money to maximize both, so you both have to decide where to cut back to free up more cash. Maybe you both agree that we're going to spend Sunday afternoon doing meal prep for the week so we don't have to order in. Maybe we'll go on less expensive vacations. The point is you both have to agree on the big picture. Then, once a month, you could plan a money date or whatever you want to call it. You print out your bank statements and credit card statements from last month to see how much you spent and how much you saved, and see if you're on track to achieve your big picture goals. If not, time to make some adjustments. Do we really need 5 different streaming services? These conversations get easier if you make them as regular and as honest as a toddler commenting on your appearance. And I must stress here, there is no one-size-fits-all approach to combining finances. It's up to you. Which brings us to the big question. Should we fully combine our finances? The obvious choice is you combine everything. All of your income goes into one joint account and everything gets paid from that account. Or you could have separate accounts and you could each contribute a proportional share of your income for your joint expenses, and you have separate accounts for your fun money. If you've agreed on the big picture, the one joint account approach is the easiest, but if you also want to have separate accounts for your fun money, well, that's fine too. Which brings us to the elephant in the room and a huge cause of stress between partners: debt. We Canadians seem to love our debt more than we enjoy complaining about the weather. And for the most part, that's fine. As long as your debt is a manageable amount and there's a good plan in place to pay it off in a reasonable amount of time, and both partners are on the same page, that's fine. After all, when combining lives, you're likely not just inheriting a cool vinyl collection and a steady Netflix binge buddy. You're taking on a shared responsibility for your partner's financial well-being. So have the debt talk and have it early. Ask questions like, what debts do you have? What are your feelings about taking on new debt if needed? And if so, what for? And what would the plan be if the situation was to change? How will we pay our debt if one of us loses our job or we have a kid? Now let me be clear here. Even if you get married, you do not automatically become responsible for your partner's debt. You're only responsible for debt you signed for. If you and your partner co-sign a loan, you're both responsible for it because you both signed for it, but it's not because you're married. But let's face it, if you or your partner have a lot of debt, even if you aren't legally responsible for your partner's debt, and vice versa, debt payments reduce the cash flow you have for everything else, so you want to make a plan to get your debt under control. That's where I come in. If your debt is overwhelming and your debt payments will prevent you and your partner from achieving your big picture goals, you need to talk to a licensed insolvency trustee. We'll work with you and your partner to make a plan to deal with your debt. The most successful couples aren't those who never disagree about money. They're the ones who know how to work through those disagreements by keeping financial communication open. With open communication, mutual respect, and systems that work for both of you, your financial relationship can be as solid as the Canadian Shield. I hope this helped you feel more comfortable about approaching your partner about the money talk. Please smash that like button and subscribe to learn more about personal finance and getting out of debt. Don't forget to join me on the next About That, when I discuss if there's still such a thing as a middle class.